Is this the end for Black Panther? Will the Thing suffer complete annihilation from immortal She-Hulk?
Find out our thoughts on Father and Son Talk Comics.
Oh yeah! Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0 and fans. I'm your host, Mike Spiderslayer, and this is my co-host,
B.
And today, guys, we are talking about... What are we talking about?
Empyre issue 5.
That's right, Empyre issue 5. And let me just tell you guys, Empyre is a book that a lot of us were all kind of like, Empyre, it's going to suck, it's going to be boring. But I tell you what, I really am liking this series. I think it's actually pretty good. Is it the best Marvel event I have ever read in my life? No, absolutely not. But this is better than what people are giving it credit for. And for your first event, what are you thinking of so far? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, see, so again, sometimes, we're jaded, but for somebody that's just jumping in the comics, he's enjoying this. So this is really great stuff. So we're talking about Empyre issue 5, all right? So last issue we have Hulkling, who's kind of like, looks like he's like evil all of a sudden and whatnot. And you're kind of like, okay, well, he's obviously being taken over by the Skrull grandmother or whatnot. And so in this issue, we're going to recap this story. Then we're going to give you our thoughts and maybe some theories and stuff like that. So in the beginning of this issue, we wound up seeing like an hour before this whole thing started, we saw Hulkling and Wiccan, they wind up getting married, and you get to see they get married in Vegas real quick, which was kind of cool, and you get to see the special moment between the two, right? And we get to see how connected they are with each other and how Wiccan actually realizes that that's not Teddy that's up there in that ship. I know better than that. So basically we wind up seeing them go out there and transport to that flagship, right? That Skrull flagship. Okay, so next the book jumps in, and where does it go to next?
Next, the Thing is still getting beat up by She-Hulk, who is transformed into a Katati after she died, apparently. And then the Thing is just getting completely beat up.
Yeah, and what do you notice about the Thing, though, while the immortal plant She-Hulk is doing?
He's bleeding and missing chunks of his body.
Now, that's intense right there, because when do you ever see the Thing get beat up like that to the point to where he's bleeding? So it shows you the Katati planned this out of taking one of the Avengers' most strongest heroes and pitting it against the Avengers, and to the point where it's like, it's a Hulk and it's taking chunks from him. He's bleeding all over the place. But the cool thing in this book is that the Thing is just being very heroic. So there's good emotional moments in there, as he's not going to give up because he wants to protect the people he loves. So that's a really awesome scene in there between there. Then we get something else here that I don't know if this is going to stick, but what happens next, Braden?
Then we see Black Panther is trying to kill all of the Katati people, but then they end up planting the Death Blossom seed in the Vibranium soil, and then he says that they're going to send a whole army through, and he says that they're in the Endgame now.
Yeah,
which is great.
Which is from where?
The Endgame.
Yeah, the movie. But what did they do to Black Panther?
And then it turns out that it was just Quoy and the swordsman, and then the swordsman, as soon as he stepped out, stabbed Black Panther, and he died.
He what?
Black Panther's dead.
No.
Yes.
He's dead?
Yes.
There was a confirmation that he's dead.
Yes.
He took his pulse. He actually took his pulse and he said, they're dead. And then the Katati, what's his name? Koi just sits there and says, yeah, that's how animals are. They bleed to death. And that's basically what happened there. So is Black Panther really dead? That's really the question here. And then what happens next is we wind up getting to see everybody transport over there, like Hulkling, not Hulkling, Wiccan, Johnny Storm, and Sue Storm. They wind up going to the Skrull flagship.
No, it's Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
I thought it was Sue Storm.
No, it's Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. She's in so many places at once. But anyway, they go back to the flagship, and they wind up finding the real Hulkling there. So, and now it looks like it's going to be those guys against the Skrull grandmother and everybody else. And we find out that they activated the Empyre, I think that's what it's called, where the sun is going to blow up. And so Earth is going to die because the sun will explode. And then at the same time, we get the Death Blossom that is planted, and that's going to give the Katati ultimate power, and they're going to rule the galaxy. And there's 1 minute apart that where these two things are happening. So we see Reed Richards spy in his new Iron Man tech. What does the Iron Man tech do?
The Iron Man tech will stretch like Mr. whoever his name is.
Reed Richards or Mr.
Reed
Fantastic.
Richards. And then that's what the Iron Man suit does. The new Fantastic Four Iron Man suit.
Yeah, so that's cool. And so he goes back and he reports to Tony Stark and says, we got 9 minutes to stop the Empyre, and we got 10 minutes before the Katati rule the galaxy. And he's like, and we got to do both. And that's basically how the issue ends. And so I was like, wow, there's a lot at stake here now. In the beginning, we're kind of like, well, what's at stake, right? So not only is the galaxy at stake, but we also have the Earth is at stake. The sun's at stake. The Thing, he could possibly die. We could have the Black Panther, who is permanently dead. There's just a lot going on. She-Hulk, she's obviously a plant creature, and she's dead. So there's a lot going on here. So I'm going to ask you, Braden, number one, is the Black Panther dead?
Probably not.
What do you think? How do you think he's going to come back alive?
Probably with Hulkling's sword that he still has.
Okay. Do you think it has that power to bring him back?
Probably.
Okay.
Because he killed Captain Marvel and then revived her.
That's true. That's true. Now, how about the Thing? You think he's going to survive, or you think Immortal She-Hulk is going to kick the crap out of him?
Well, I think the Thing is going to survive because he said he can't die.
Okay, so he's
he
really...
won't die.
Yeah. I mean, he's bleeding pretty hard, and he's in big-time pain, but we'll see what happens there. And then, what else do we got? And then, what's going on with She-Hulk? Like, how is she going to recover from that?
Probably not. They said she's dead, and
right.
she's still dead.
So she's probably going to die, but like I said, if you've read the Immortal Hulk in the previous issues that Al Ewing actually writes, when you die, right, and then nighttime comes along or something happens, you come back alive, but you come back something else. So she's probably going to still be Immortal She-Hulk, but she's going to change in a way. So we got that going on too. Do you think Hulkling is going to stay the Emperor of the Skrull in the Kree?
No.
Or do you think he's going to retire?
They probably don't need him after the war is over.
If the war is ever over.
There's one issue.
What's that?
This.
Oh, I know. I don't know.
Empire.
I don't know. We'll see. So at the end of the day, what'd you like? Did you like the artwork in this one too?
Yeah, this is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, okay.
4 3/4 stars.
4 3/4 stars? That's pretty good. I like this one too. I'm going to be right there with you when it comes to that. I 4 3/4 stars. I love the action. I love the pace. And I love what's at stake here when it comes. My only issue with this is we only have one issue left of this series. How are you going to wrap this up in one more issue when there seems to be so much at stake here, right? So I don't know, but in past Marvel events, we've seen things sputter out, and it just is not exciting, but this has gotten better with each and every issue. So hopefully it closes out solid, and we'll see what happens from there. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Father Son Talk Comics. And until next time, this is Mike Spider Slayer, and
B.
we're signing off, and we'll see you next time, guys. Take care.